Make racing as competitive as it can possibly be, and in the November 1990 issue of the Midwest Harness Horse, Herb Aloysius has an article regarding changing the circumference and/or the racing style on the half-mile racetrack. And you're looking at some styrofoam pylon cones that would be placed on the racetrack that would change the actual racing circumference of the racetrack. And we're going to talk with Mike Paradise today about what he happens to think about this revolutionary new idea. And the reason we're talking about it today is because they think, as far as we know, they're going to try it tonight at Maywood. They tried it with qualifiers on Friday.
They tried it with qualifiers, but at the time of taping of the show, I couldn't reach anybody at Maywood to find out if the drivers okayed it. The idea was to change the circumference of the last turn, bringing it out so that when they turn for home, there is an 8 feet difference between.
Right, so no one has the benefit of being on the inside.
Well, if you're second over, if you're getting the good trip, theoretically you should have room to move over, or if the horse in the lead moves over, you should have more room on the outside.
That's too confusing, Mike. Right. They're going to leave the starting gate and they go where?
They leave the starting gate, everything's the same.
Everything's the same. They come around that first turn, they go into the second turn.
It's the second turn.
The second turn.
Right.
So they come up on the backstretch, and they can no longer stay on that inside rail. They've got to move to the outside
Well,
past
they
these
move
cones.
further out. The turn is now sweeps more. To me, that's the key, Eleanor. The key in here is, I don't know as far as if a horse is going to be able to get out in the stretch or not, but I think when you make the turns more sweeping of a turn, it obviously has to benefit a lot of horses that can't take turns. It should be theoretically easier on horses to make the turn. You should have guys who may be more willing to tip. Now, a couple problems I have, okay? First of all, I think right now, talking about doing something tonight or right away, I like to wait. This is the middle of a meeting. We got 5 weeks to go. You know, Eleanor, if you went to Wrigley Field and they suddenly moved the home runs in to 250 feet, the wall, you'd say, what's going on? It worked in batting practice. Well, that was batting practice. I like to see the time taken to do this and qualifiers to see if it's really going to work before we actually do it. And then I got another suggestion.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear this, because I really, if you watch late night harness racing, you know that I don't particularly like this idea. I like half-mile racing. I like how up close it is. I like how the drivers have to compete. I like how its driving style and the aggressiveness of it.
I have an idea.
Okay.
You can still have the beauty of half-mile racing. You could still have the closeness. But if you're going to change the turn, why not change both turns? Why not make both turns more sweeping? Why not look into still have a half-mile racetrack, but the circumference, by having it more sweeping, allows horses to get around the turns easier, which is better for the horses, and also better for the bettors, because the strategy can possibly change. You'll be more apt to make a move. If you ever notice a guy making a move, he makes the move so he can clear before the turn.
Right.
Well, if the turns are sweeping, both turns, then he has an equal chance. But maybe you might have to change the finish wire a little bit closer.
Do they make moves on Hawthorne's turn? Do they make moves on Sportsman's turns? I mean, I know that they have to execute a lot more turns than Maywood.
The mile turns, it's less turns, but the difference is it's more of a sweeping turn.
More of a sweeping.
The point I'm getting to is, if you're going to change it, let's change both turns.
Right.
And let's give it enough time to see if it's going to work, and let's promote it so that the fans know what's going on, because right now, I don't know what's going on.
And right now, I don't know what's going on either, but initially in looking at it, I don't see that it's going to make things for the better. I like it just the way that it is.
Well, I guess we'll try it and see.
We'll try it and we'll see. We'll have more information, but that's what's new around Chicago harness racing. And we've got some winners. That's what Mike Paradise says, coming up on Monday's card right after this.